Yeah. Hi guys, good morning. In the last session, we discussed about what is operating system. Can you tell me what is 1 minute, guys. Manikanta? రావట్లేదు చూడండి projector. Input is not supplying. Wire issue is there. Let's check that once. Yeah, fine guys. So in the last session, we started our discussion related to what is operating system. Could you please confirm what is operating system? Operating system is used as a mediator between the user and computer. If you want to use any computer, then operating system is mandatory for that computer. Without having the operating system, we cannot use that computer. If you want to run any application in the computer, like operating system, I mean to say Notepad or Paint, Eclipse, any program that you want to run in the computer, for that operating system is required. Then we have seen we are having Windows operating system. What is Windows OS? Who developed Windows OS? Microsoft company. This is GUI based operating system. That means for everything, graphical user interface is available in the Windows. Only one user can access Windows at a time. Security features also very less when you go for Windows OS. Windows is recommended for personal purpose. If you want to use laptop for your office work, or if you want to use to watch movies, to play the games, to store your data, to do some calculations and all, Windows is recommended. But what about application deployment, servers execution, database execution? Not recommended, because security is not there, and that too, that is licensed software. Windows you can't use for free of cost. You see, there is a message, activate Windows. Go to settings and activate Windows. That means we are using trial version of the Windows. But in the software company, they need to purchase the license for the Windows, right? So that's why companies will prefer to go for Linux operating system. What is Linux operating system? Linux is free operating system, that is multi-user based operating system. That means multiple users can connect to single Linux computer at a time and they can perform the operations. That's why it is called multi-user operating system. Security features are very high when you go for Linux OS. You no need to purchase the Linux OS. It is free of cost. Then we have seen history of Linux. Who developed Linux OS? Linus Torvalds developed it by using Linux operating system. He provided Linux operating system for free of cost along with the open source. So many companies downloaded this Linux OS, changed that OS according to their requirement. They released into market. Those are called as distributions of Linux. How many distributions available for Linux? 200 plus distributions are available for Linux. Can you name some of the distributions? Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, SUSE, Amazon Linux, okay, Debian Linux, etc. These all are some distributions of Linux operating system. The base OS is Linux, but these Linux operating systems given by different companies. All right. Then after, we have created Linux virtual machine, set up Linux VM. VM nothing but virtual machine. What is the meaning of virtual machine? What is the meaning of virtual machine, guys? That machine not exist physically, but we can use it to perform our operations. Now, What we have done is we have taken one Linux machine in the AWS cloud. So this is AWS cloud. Assume that this is AWS cloud. We created free tier account in the AWS cloud. In the AWS cloud, there are 200 plus services are available to run our business. So as we discussed, cloud computing, whatever the infrastructure that is required for our company, instead of we are purchasing the infrastructure, we can get it for the rent. Okay. So now whatever the infrastructure that is providing by AWS, those infrastructure is available in the form of services. In the AWS, 200 plus services are available to run our business, but nobody will use all these services as part of the company, as part of the project. Some of the services we are going to use from these 200. In the AWS cloud, separate course is available. For the DevOps engineers, we are going to teach a separate AWS course. That is 45 days only for AWS. In that course, we are going to teach 15 services. That is sufficient to get the job as a DevOps engineer. If you want to get the job as a DevOps with AWS cloud engineer, 15 services are sufficient. But in the AWS, there are 200 services are available. If anybody want to get the job only on the AWS, 15 services we are going to teach from these 200 to attend the interview. But for the Java developer, do we need all those 15? Those also not required. Maximum 4-5 services that are required for the Java developer to say that I have experience on the cloud platform. Good. Now, first one, the first and foremost service that we need to learn, that is EC2. What is the meaning of EC2? What is the meaning of EC2, guys? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud. That is used to create virtual machines in the AWS cloud. And the second one, we are having RDS. What is the meaning of RDS? Relational Database Service. Instead of we are installing the database in our system, we can take the database from the AWS cloud by using a service called RDS service. And the third one, S3 is available. S3 nothing but simple storage service. If you want to store unlimited data in the AWS cloud, then you can go for a service called S3. Then similarly, we are having a service called VPC. VPC nothing but virtual private cloud. So whenever we are creating one virtual machine in the AWS, for that machine network is required. Internet connection is required for that machine. That network will be provided by networking service that is called VPC. And the next one, IAM service will be available. Identity and access management. That means in the company, you cannot access everything in the AWS cloud. Who can access what in the AWS? That will be decided by IAM, identity and access management. When you log in into, now if you log in into AWS cloud, you have access for everything because it is your personal account that you have created. Tomorrow, company will provide you one AWS account. When you log in the company AWS account, you can't access all the services in the AWS. If you are from development background, then they will give you only some read permission in the EC2. If you are a DevOps engineer, then they will provide full permission on the EC2. Which user can perform which operation in the AWS cloud services, that will be decided by IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So based on your role, based on your designation in the company, they will provide the access for you in the AWS cloud. So EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, that is used to create virtual machines in the AWS. Any Windows machine, Linux machine, Mac machine that you can create by using this EC2, we can connect to those machines and we can perform operations. Next one, RDS, Relational Database Service. If you want to create any relational database in the AWS cloud, then you will go for RDS service. Next one, S3, Simple Storage Service. If you want to store any data, unlimited data you can store in the S3. If you see our major project in CO, I have given with the S3 communication. If you see our major project architecture diagram, there is a relation between CO and AWS S3. Whatever the notices we are generating in the correspondence API, instead of storing the notices in the database, in the real time, we are storing the notices in the AWS S3. In the S3, how much data we can store? Any amount of data that is used for unlimited storage. VPC, network it is going to provide. IAM, access permission it is going to provide. Now I want to create one virtual machine in the AWS cloud. So the virtual machine that we are creating in the AWS cloud, it is called as EC2 instance. EC2 instance nothing but a computer that we are creating in the AWS cloud. The computer that we are taking for rent from the AWS, that is called EC2 instance. This can be called as VM. This can be called as one machine. This can be called as one server. One EC2 instance is called as one virtual machine, or it can called as one server. It can call as one box, or it can be called as one machine. I'm going to take one EC2 instance. What type of machine you want to take, that will be decided by AMI. AMI represents which operating system you need for your machine. Do you want Windows machine? Do you want Linux machine? Do you want Mac machine? That you can select by using AMI. After selecting the AMI, it is going to ask instance type. That means what type of instance you want. So there are several types of instances available. Some instances are high configuration instances available. 100 GB RAM, 10 virtual CPUs you can get, 1000 GB network speed also you can take for that machine. So if you go for high configuration machine, bill will be generated. For practice purpose, we are going for which type of instance, guys? We are going for T2 micro. Some people asked, sir, we are not able to stop the T2 micro. No problem, because T2 micro, first 1 year, it is free of cost. 1 year free. 1 year free. And monthly 750 hours. If you run that machine, still bill will not be generated. 1 year free and monthly 750 hours. If you run that machine without stopping also, no problem. 31 days per month, 31 days into 24 hours. It will come around 720 only. But how many hours they are giving? 750 hours they are giving. If you don't stop your machine for 1 month continuously also, bill will not be generated. The reason, monthly 750 hours you can run T2 micro instance for free of cost. If you run 2 instances 24/7 in a month, then 720 plus 720, it will go to 1440, then bill will be generated. If you use one machine 24/7 for 30 days also, it will not cross the 750 hours. So you are already safe. Bill will not be generated. This free service will be available for first 1 year. On which date you created your AWS account, from that date, 12 months, monthly 750 hours, T2 micro instance will be available for free of cost. Right. We understood what is AMI and what is instance type. Can you tell me what is AMI? Come on, what is AMI? AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Why we need to go for AMI? What type of configuration is required for your machine? So if you are going for T2 micro, 1 GB RAM you are going to get, that is free of cost. Then after instance type, it is going to ask key pair. What is the key pair? What is key pair? It is a lock for the machine. Even though if you know my machine IP address, my machine username, you cannot access my machine. You cannot connect to my machine when I have a key pair for that machine. Got my point? When you go for key pair, there are 2 types of keys will be available. One is the public key, another one is private key. Public key will be available in the AWS. Private key we will download in the form of a PEM file. So if you want to connect with that machine, By using that PEM file only, we can connect for that. Key pair is used to secure our machine. After the key pair, it will ask for network. Who will provide the network for that? VPC. So as we are beginners in the AWS cloud, we don't have idea on the VPC. For that, AWS provided one default VPC for us. We are going to create our machine with the default VPC provided by AWS. After VPC, it will ask for firewall, that is security group. That means which traffic we need to allow for our machine that we can control by using firewall. After the firewall, it will ask storage for our machine. For every computer, storage is required. Whenever you purchase a laptop, you will get either hard disk or SSD that is used to store the data, right? Similarly, when we are creating our EC2 instance also, for our EC2 instance, storage is required. Storage will be provided by EBS. There is another service in the AWS that will provide storage that is required for our machine. So if you want to create virtual machine in the AWS cloud, we are going to use all these settings: AMI, instance type, key pair, network, VPC, default VPC, firewall security group, and storage will be available. Now here, let me create one virtual machine. Observe carefully. Okay. There are two machines already available. They are in the running status. Why I did not stop them? What is the type of the instance? T2 micro. What is the meaning of T2 micro? That machine is free of cost. Suppose after your work is completed, it's better to stop the machine. Okay. So here, if you go to action, instance state is available. There is an option called stop instance option is available. So here I have selected this machine. It is already in the running state. I don't want this machine to run now. My task is completed. Instance state, stop the instance. So if I click on stop the instance, whenever I want, I can restart that instance. Suppose I don't want that machine, then I can go for terminate instance. What is the meaning of terminate? That machine will be deleted. I cannot get that machine back. So if I terminate, I will not get that machine back. If I stop the machine, I can get that machine back. Are you guys clear? Perfect. Now see, currently there is only one machine is available. I want to launch another machine. I'm going with the Linux machine to practice Linux commands. Observe carefully. I'm hoping everybody able to do this. Anybody not able to do? Umshi? Sign water the Magappa. Sai ki water bottle. Yeah. Anybody still not able to launch the Linux machine, guys? I gave the videos also in the group. How to launch Linux machine, how to connect to that by using Mobile Extra. And I gave the video how to connect to the machine by using putty also. For the putty, we need PPK file, but we created PEM file. PEM file should be converted to PPK file by using putty gen software. Very clearly, I explained in the video. It is just 8 minutes video. If you watch that video, you will understand how to connect to the, how to launch EC2 machine, how to connect to that machine by using Mobile Extra, how to connect to the machine by using putty as well. Right. Yeah, fine. I want to go with another EC2 instance because whatever the instance I created in the last session, I have deleted that instance. Okay. Now let me go to EC2 dashboard. Now there is an option called launch instance, right? Click on launch instance. You can give any name for the instance. I'm giving the name as Linux virtual machine. Here AMI. If you want to go with Amazon Linux, you can use it. If you go for Ubuntu also, no problem. The only difference, if you go for Ubuntu, username will be Ubuntu. Remaining every step is same. Only username will be different. If you go for Red Hat, same process. For Red Hat machine, username is EC2 user only. Amazon Linux is available. For that, username is EC2 user. What is AMI? AMI will provide the configuration that is required to launch our machine. I want Amazon Linux OS. Can I say Amazon Linux is one Linux distribution? What is the meaning of Linux distribution? What is the meaning of Linux distribution? Whatever Linux OS whatever OS source code given by Linus Torvalds, these companies modified that and released into market with their brand name. Okay, Amazon Linux, it is one of Linux distribution. Then after instance type, I'm going with which one? T2 Micro. Why? Free tier, monthly 750 hours free of cost. Key pair, what is the key pair? Why we need key pair? Key pair is used to lock our machine. Other users, other people should not connect with my machine. For that, I will go for key pair. Now, these key pairs I don't have. Okay, let me go with the create a new key pair. It is asking the name of the key pair. I'm giving the key pair name as AWS key pair. Any name you can give. Any number of key pairs you can create. Okay. AWS key pair I'm creating. And remember, one key pair we can use with multiple machines also. For every machine, one key pair is not required. 100 computers also, 100 virtual machines also you can create with a single key pair. Okay. I'm taking AWS key pair. Do you want PEM file or PPK? I'm going with the PEM file. Click on create key pair. The moment when I create the key pair, it is downloaded. So whatever public key is available, public key will be stored in the AWS cloud. Private key is downloaded to my machine. So here, when I create a key pair, two things will be generated. One is called public key. Another one is called private key. AWS will store the public key and it will provide the private key for us. So this is the lock and this is the key for that. If you want to open that lock, this key is required. Okay. Public key will be available in the AWS. Lock is available in the AWS. Key is downloaded in the form of PEM file. That is a private key. So if you want to connect with that machine, that PEM file is mandatory because that machine is locked. Even though if you know my machine IP, my machine username, you cannot connect because the key is with me. It is already locked. Right. Next one, network settings. For that machine, network is required. Who is providing that network? VPC. Did I create the VPC? No. For new users, to encourage new users, AWS provided one default VPC. By default, VPC will be available for every AWS account. Okay. After that, firewall security groups. Which traffic we need to allow for the machine? Which traffic we need to allow? That can be decided by firewall security. I'm going to create a Linux machine. Linux machine runs on the protocol SSH, secured shell. Linux is going to run on the SSH. If you go for Windows, for Linux, it is SSH. If it is Windows, then that is the RDP. Windows machines runs on RDP protocol. Linux machines runs on SSH protocol. So if you want to connect with the Linux machine, SSH protocol should be enabled in the firewall. So for that, security group we are creating with allow SSH traffic from anywhere. Any request comes with the SSH protocol, you allow that. That is the meaning of security group. Then below, configure storage. For the Linux machine, by default, 8 GB we are getting. If it is Windows, storage will be 30 GB by default. For Linux machine, 8 GB storage we are getting by default. That 8 GB is free of cost. If you go for Windows, 30 GB will come free of cost. Sir, what is the max capacity we can take? 16,000 GB is the capacity that AWS providing for your machine. That is 16 TB space. 16 TB storage you can take for your machine. But if you go for 16 TB, what will happen? If you go for 16 TB, what will happen, guys? Come on, if I go for this, then bill will be generated. For free tier eligible, 30 GB for Windows, 8 GB for the Linux. So configure storage, 8 GB coming by default. That's it. I'm not changing anything else. Number of instances 1, Amazon Linux AMI, instance type T2 micro, default VPC, firewall security group, one storage volume is also available. Look at the diagram. AMI, instance type, key pair, network, firewall, storage. With this, I'm launching my instance. That means my machine is getting created. My machine is created. Perfect. So now, once the machine is created, for that machine, one public IP will be generated. That public IP is called dynamic IP. For EC2 machine, public IP will be available, guys. Public IP will be available. Private IP will be available. Private IP is fixed IP. It is not going to change if you stop and start your machine. Public IP, it is dynamic IP. When you restart your machine, that IP address is going to change. Now, here my machine got started. For this, public IP is available. Now, I want to connect with that machine. I am having my Windows computer. I am having my Windows computer. In the cloud, Linux computer is available. I want to connect with that Linux VM, which is available in the AWS from my Windows computer, from my Windows machine. I want to connect with the Linux machine. For that, the secured connection is required. That is SSH. If you want to make this SSH connection, we have several softwares. One of the famous software, Mobile Extram. Another one, Putty. In order to connect with this machine, I need public IP. I need public IP. I need username. I need private key. Okay. With these details, I can connect with the machine. Public IP, username, and private key. First, let me download Mobile Extram. Do I have it? No. Yeah, Mobile Extram already available in my machine. Let me open. Click on session. Observe. Some people are not able to connect with this. Observe carefully. I'm going with the session. SSH remote host. What is the remote host? That is public IP address. What is the username? If you don't know how to get the username, select the machine. I have seen in the group, somebody shared screenshot. I'm not able to see IP address. You should have minimum common sense, guys. If you have to select this checkbox. I have seen that in the group, WhatsApp group. Sir, I'm not able to see public IP. You have to select the checkbox. You have to select the machine. For which machine you want to see the IP address. Then public IP is displayed here. If you click on connect, username will be available here. Okay. Then go here, enter the username. That is EC2-user. Settings, private key. We downloaded that PEM file. Go to our downloads. PEM file is downloaded. Okay. Click on OK. Accept. First time. So fine. Successful. I'm able to connect with my Linux machine. Linux is GUI machine or Linux is a CLI machine, guys. CLI machine. What is the meaning of CLI? Linux is command line interface. In the Windows, GUI, graphical user interface. Here, command line interface. Okay, fine, guys. Once we are connected with the Linux machine, then we need to execute commands. In the Linux, everything is command based. If you want to download Java, that is through command only. If you want to install Maven, through command only. If you want to install Git, that is also through command only. Once you understand how to work with the Linux, then you will not use Windows. Linux is very beautiful operating system. Everything is based on the commands only. In the Java, if you want to install Java in the Windows, what you need to do? Go to the website, download, double click, install, set the path, set the Java home, lot of things. Here, with a single command, Java will be installed. Shall I show you that? Yeah, see here. This is my Linux machine. Do I have Java here? Do I have Java here? Currently Java is not available. Now I want to install Java in my machine. See the command. That's it. Java will be installed in that machine. We'll see which version. Java 17 it installed. That is the latest stable version in the Java. Now complete. Java installation got complete. Now check Java version. Java 17 is installed in my machine. I want to install Git client in my machine. Do I have Git version? Git is not available. Then what I need to do? Sudo yum install Git. Git will be installed. Yes. Install the Git. Git is installed complete. Now I want to install Maven. Check it. Maven is available in the machine or not. Maven is not available. How to do that? Sudo yum install Maven. That's it. All softwares are installed. In the Windows, that is the beauty. That is the beauty of the Linux operating system. So the people who are working in the real time, they don't like Windows because most of our work will be on the Linux operating system. Linux is very beautiful operating system, very user-friendly operating system. Everything is based on the commands. Everything based on the commands. We'll come to that. So here I'm using this is doing the magic. Yum. Yum is a package manager in the Linux. We'll discuss about the package managers. All right. So with this, we are able to launch our Linux machine. Now we need to practice Linux commands, right? If you want to work with the Linux operating system, what is the most important thing that you need to learn? Linux commands. Everything is based on the commands only. So I want to check my username. How can I check that? Who am I? What is the meaning of who am I? Who is using this machine currently? Multiple users can connect to the, now I connected to the Linux machine. If I give my key pair, you can also connect to the same machine. That is called multi-user operating system. So if I give my key pair, my public IP, my username, in your laptop, you can install mobile extrom, you can connect to the same machine, you can perform the operation, I can perform the operation. So that is called multi-user operating system. If you go for Windows, only one user can access Windows machine at a time, right? So in the previous class, we discussed several Linux commands. One is in the interview, when you attend Java experienced interview, they will ask this question. Have you ever used Linux machines in your project? 100% we are going to use. If you say no, that means you are fake. In the real time, every project, not only Java, you take any software project that will run in the Linux machine only because of its security features, and it is open source operating system, and it is easy to use. It is easy to use. Are you guys getting my point? So, and if you go for Windows, if you don't shut down your Windows laptop for 3 days, what will happen? No, forget about battery. You will connect the charger. Continuously, if I don't stop my machine for 3-4 days, what will happen? System will hang and automatically it will get restart sometime. Blue color screen will come. Your PC ran into a problem. System will get heat, right? But in the Linux, that will not happen. Linux is very powerful operating system when compared with the Windows. So now, whatever the servers we are running in the Linux, do you think that our server will be stopped? 365 days our server will be up and running. That means 365 days your Linux machine will be up and running without any restart. That much powerful operating system Linux is. That's why in the industry, projects, your databases, your logs, everything will be stored in the Linux machine only. Okay. In the interview, for experienced people, they will ask a question. Can you please explain what are the Linux commands you have used? Okay, you should know the commands. Can you tell me how to get the logs which are available in the Linux machine? Our project is running. Logs will be available in the log server. In the log4j, we discussed what is log server. Log server, nothing but it is a Linux machine. Log file will be created in the Linux machine. How you will connect to the log file from your Windows. Company will provide you laptop with the Windows OS only for your development. But project execution will happen on the Linux computer. Suppose there is a problem in the project. You need to check the log file. Where is the log file? Linux. So you should know what is the key pair, what is IP address, how to connect with the Linux directory structure, what is the hierarchy of the files in the Linux, how to get the data from the file, how to see the file data, all those commands you should know. So concentrate carefully. What are the commands I'm going to use? First one, who am I? What is the purpose of who am I? Display logged in user name. Display logged in user name. And the next one, PWD. What is PWD? That is present working directory. Present working directory. So if you see, what is my present working directory? /home/ec2 user. That means home is one folder. Inside that ec2 user is one folder. Inside that we are currently working. Now here, if I want to change the directory, then what is the command? Change directory. Now currently I am in the ec2 user directory. I want to come out from the ec2, then I will go for cd space ... Then check the present working directory, home. Earlier I was in home ec2 user. Now I am in the home. I came one step back. Now I want to go one step forward. cd space directory name ec2 user. Check the present working directory. If you want to come out from the directory or if you want to go inside the directory, then we are going to use a command called cd command. Then we are having ls command. What is the purpose of ls? List files and directories. Okay. Whatever the files and directories are available in the directory, you just display them. Let me go for ls. Okay. Anything available? I'm not getting anything. What is the meaning of that? In that directory, no files and directories are available. I want to create one directory. How to create a directory? mkdir make directory. That means in the Windows, we will call it as a folder. In the Linux, we will call it as a directory. Make directory, mkdir command. If your directory is empty, then remove that directory by using rmdir. Remove empty directory. Suppose if the directory contains some files, then we cannot delete the directory by using that command. We should go for other command for that. So what is rmdir? What is rmdir? rmdir is used to remove one empty directory. Okay. The next one. We discussed about a command called touch command. What is the purpose of touch command? Create empty file. You can create empty file or empty files also. Can I create multiple files at a time by using touch command? Yes. Now ls, nothing is available. Let me go for touch f1.txt, f2.txt, f3.txt. Created. Go for ls. Can you see the content? Yes. What is the purpose of ls? f1, f2, f3. Now let me create one more file, touch f4.txt. Okay. So total 4 files got created. Now there is an option ls-l. What is the meaning of ls-l? More information about that file, listing that. Now when that file is created, who created that file, all that information we can see by using that ls-l command. ls-lr. What is the meaning of that? Reverse order. Okay, the files are displaying in the reverse order. Actually, when I go for this ls-l, in the alphabetical order, it is going to display f1, f2, f3, f4. I want to reverse the order, ls-lr command. Now, if you want to reverse it based on the time, ltr, ls-ltr, So which file is created last? Okay, those files are going to display like this: ls-lt, ls-lt, f1, f4, f4, f1, f2, f3. So LTR, these are the arguments that we are going to supply if you want to print the files based on the created time, recent created files, or old files that you want to display on the top. For that you can go for ls-ltr. L is used for listing, R is used for reverse, T is used for time based. We are going to get the file. If I go for just ls, only list the files. If I go for ls-l, list the files in the alphabetical order. If I go for ls-lr, reverse of alphabetical order it is going to get. If I go for ls-lt, time based it is going to display the files, right? So now we understood what is mkdir, rmdir, touch command. Next one, cat command is available. What is the purpose of cat command? Come on. Create, update, display. Okay, that cat command can be used to create the new file with the data, add the data to the existing file, or display the data available in the file also. Now see here, I want to create a file called Linux. Okay, then cat single arrow. What is the meaning of single arrow? Right, overwrite the data if it is available, create the file, write the data. Cat linux.txt. File is available with that name, not available with that name, available with that name, not available with that name, not available with that name. Then what it will do? Create the file. Then asking for the content. I'm going to write Linux is free OS, Linux is CLI based, Linux is open source, Linux is secured, Linux is secured, Linux is powerful, Linux is powerful. I want to close that file. What is the command? Control D. Then that file got closed. Now I want to see the data in the file. Cat space linux.txt. Whatever the data we stored, are we able to see the data? Yes or no? Now I want to add the new lines to the existing file. I want to add the data to the existing file without overriding the old data. I want to add the data. How can I do that? Single arrow or double arrow? If I go with a single arrow, what will happen? It is going to override that data. Okay. Cat double arrow linux.txt. I am learning Linux OS. Okay. Control D. Closed it. Again display the data. Cat linux.txt. Old data is available or not available? Old data is available and new data added to the file. Okay. So fine. So tell me, what is the difference between touch command and cat command? Touch command is used to create the empty file. Cat command, create, update, and display. Okay. Now, there is a command which is reverse of cat. What is the reverse of cat? Cat reverse command. Tag. Now see, cat linux.txt. Content is displayed. Tag linux.txt. What happened? Cat command will read the file from top to bottom. Tag command will read from bottom to top. Are you guys getting my point? So cat command will read file from top to bottom, whereas tag command will read file from bottom to top. Got it? Cat and tag is available. Okay. Next one, there is a command called rm command is available. What is the purpose of rm? remove the file. Remove file. I want to remove one file f4.txt. ls-l. F4 file is available. rm f4.txt. File is removed. ls-l. F4 is not available. Okay. File is removed. By using rm command, we are removing the file. What is mv command? To move and rename. I want to move the file from one directory to another directory. In the general, in the Windows, what we will do? Cut paste. Right? In the Linux, mv command is available. To move and rename files and directories, we are going for mv command. Next one, cp command. What is cp? Copy data. Copy the data. If you want to copy the data from one file to another file, then you will go for cp command. Let us see ls-l. There is a file called linux.txt. Okay. I want to see the content of that file. How can I see that? Cat linux.txt. I'm able to see the content of the file. With the same content, I want to create one more file abc.txt. Can I do that? cp linux.txt space abc.txt. Now ls-l. abc.txt created or not created? Created. Can we check the content? How to check the content? Cat abc.txt. Yes, content is available or not? Available. Now let me create one file, cat single arrow devops.txt. Okay. This is DevOps file. Okay. Control D. And let me create one more file, cat aws.txt. Okay. Like that. This is AWS file. Control D. Two new files got created, ls-l, devops.txt and aws.txt. I want to copy two files data into single file. I want to merge two files content into single file. Are you able to understand? Now, can I go for cp command? Can I go for cp command? What is the purpose of cp? What is the purpose of cp? Copy the data from one file to another file. But what is my requirement? Two files data I want to copy to third file. Let's try this. cp devops.txt aws.txt. Then I want to give one more file, something like some m1.txt. Okay. Working or not working? Not working. So cp command will support only if you want to copy from one file to another file. Will not support if you have two files. If you have two files to copy, then we need to go for cat command. Again, by using cat command, we can copy two files data to third file or three files data to fourth file. Observe, cat, what is our target file, source file? devops.txt, aws.txt. Arrow, I'm going to give another file with a name called m1.txt. Okay, then go for cat m1.txt. What is there? DevOps file data, AWS file data, both files data copied to a file called m1.txt. So tell me the difference between cp copy and cat copy. cp will support only for single file copy, whereas by using cat, you can copy multiple files data to the single file. You see this. When I try this command with the cp, I'm not able to do that. But here what I have done, cat devops txt aws txt to m1 txt. So what it has done, it has taken the data from the devops file, aws file, it is stored into m1 file. So this data coming from devops file, this data coming from aws file, both files data added to one new file. Are you guys clear? How to copy one file data? cp command. How to copy multiple files data? Cat command. Cat command. Good. Next one. We have seen one more command called wc command. wc m1.txt. What is that? Word count. 2 lines available, 8 words available, 37 characters available. Check this. cat m1.txt. 2 lines available. In one line, 4 words available. So total 8 words available. And total 37 characters available in the file. So that is the purpose of WC command. That is called word count. It will provide lines, words, and characters of the file. Lines, words, and characters of the file. Are you guys clear? Perfect. See the commands we have seen as of now. First one, who am I? What is the purpose of who am I? Display logged in user information. PWD, present working directory. CD, change directory. LS, list the files. MKDIR, make the directory. RMDIR, remove empty directory. Touch command, create empty files. Cat command, create the file. Update file data, display file data. Create, update, display files data. Okay. Cat command will read the file from top to bottom, whereas tag command will read file from bottom to top. RM, remove files. MV, move and rename files and directories. CP, copy the data. WC, word count. Now, let us see. I'm going to create one directory, mkdir directory. I'm going to create directory 1. Okay, guys. Now, ls-l. In this present working directory, files are available and directory is also available. I want to go inside that directory. How can I go inside the directory? Come on. CD directory 1. Can I see my present working directory? Yes. What is present working directory? Home, EC2 user, and directory 1. I want to create one file here. Empty. Touch f1.txt and touch f11.txt. Touch f22.txt. I created some files. How to display the files? ls-l. ls-l. Okay. I am able to see the files which are available in the directory 1. I want to come out from the directory. CD double dot. I came out from the directory. What is my present working directory? EC2 user. Now I want to display all the files and directories. What is displaying? The files and directories which are available in the present working directory. I want to display content of this directory. Are you guys getting my point? I'm able to see the content of present working directory. In my present working directory, there is a subdirectory, directory 1 available. In the directory 1, some other files are available, F1, F11, F22. I want to print those files. For that, ls-l space directory name. Which directory content you want to print, that directory content it is going to print. If I give only ls-l, current directory content it is going to display. I want to display the content of some other directory. ls-l space name of the directory, path. I want to give the path. What happened now? F1, F11, F22. Where these files are available? Inside the directory 1. So I am inside the EC2 directory. I am able to get the content of the directory 1. What is the command? ls space -l space directory 1. Okay, good. Now I want to delete directory 1. I want to delete the directory 1. What is the command to delete a directory? RMDIR. You are wrong. RMDIR used for what? RMDIR is used for empty directory. My directory is empty or it is not empty? Not empty. Then how to delete the directory? Here, if you want to delete non-empty directory, you need to go for RM command with recursive delete. RM recursive. What is the meaning of RM recursive? First delete the content of the directory, then delete the directory. Okay. See here. rm hyphen r space directory 1. What is the meaning of that? Recursive delete. When you go for recursive delete, it will ask, boss, in that directory, whatever the files are available, it is going to delete all the files and directory also deleted. ls-l. Directory 1 available or not available? Not available. Now, when I should go for rm-r directory, when I go for rmdir directory, if the directory is empty, then we will go for rmdir. If the directory is not empty, rm-r directory. Got it? Okay. rmdir, remove empty directory. If directory contains data, then rm-r space directory name. That is the command that is used for recursive delete. Perfect. Next one. Guys, see here, observe carefully. We used several commands, right? All these commands we have used. Now, I'm going to use one more command that is called head command. There is a command called head command. The opposite for the head, there is a command called tail command. Head command and tail commands are available to read the data from the file. Sir, already we have cat command and tag command. Can you tell me the difference between cat command and tag command? What is the difference between cat command and tag command? Cat is used to get the data from top to bottom. Tag command to get the data from bottom to top. Complete file data they are going to give you. But when you go for head command, gives first 10 lines of a file. Gives first 10 lines of file. If you go for tail command, gives last 10 lines of a file. Head command will give you first 10 lines of the file. Tail command will give you last 10 lines of the file. Now, let me take one content. Dummy data with file numbers. Dummy text. Or else let me write it. 1 Java, 2 Spring Boot. It will become very difficult, guys. So let me take some notes from here. Okay, here I am having this. Setup Linux VM, 7th one. Connect with mobile extram. Connect with mobile extram. 8. Connect with putty. Then 9th one, Linux commands. 10th one, commands practice. Install softwares. File permissions. Ownership. Host website. 15th one, shell scripting. Okay, now guys, you see I am having some lines of data. Total 15 lines of data is available. Let me create one file with this. Let me create one file with this content. Okay, I'm going to create a file by using cat space data. Cat data.txt. Let me paste the content. In the Linux terminal, mouse right click is used for pasting the content. Okay. Yes, I have done the content pasting. Then Control D. Okay. Let me go for cat command, cat data.txt. How many lines of data is available in the file? 15 lines of data is available in the file. Now let me go for head data.txt. How many lines we are getting? Only first 10 lines of data. Okay. What is the purpose of a head command? What is the purpose of head command? Head command gives first 10 lines of file. Okay, but my requirement is I want to get first 13 lines of data. But what is the default behavior of head command? Only first 10 lines of data. But what is my requirement? First 13 lines of data. Head -n 13 space data dot dx, that is file name. How many lines of data I'm getting? First 13 lines of data I'm getting. What is -n represents? Number of lines that you want. If I don't give that number, by default will give you only 13. Now, can I get first 100 lines of file? -n 100. It will give you first 100 lines of data. Okay. Head gives the first 10 lines of file. 10 is the default. 10 is default. Now, head -n some 20 file name. What is the meaning of 20? Gives 20 lines. Gives first 20 lines. Can I get first 500 lines? Yes, we can get that. Okay. Next one, tail command. What is the purpose of tail command? Tail data.txt. What I am getting with the tail command? I am getting the last 10 lines. First 5 lines are skipped. Total there are 15 lines of data available in the file. But it has given me last 10 lines. First 5 lines are not coming. For example, if I go tail -n 12 data.txt. Now what happened? Last 12 lines it is giving. If I give the n count for the head, it will consider first n number of lines. If I give n for the tail command, last n number of lines it is going to provide me. Gives last 20 lines. Okay. Head command is available, tail command. Now tell me, what is the difference between cat command and head command? Cat will give from top to bottom. Cat will give from top to bottom. Right. Head command, it will give only first 10 lines of data. Can I get the first n number of lines from the file by using head? Yes, by giving -n line number. Okay. Online students, able to follow me? How to assign elastic IP? First, we are focusing on the Linux commands, Mr. Ram Mohan. Then I will come to AWS topics. Then I will tell you what is elastic IP. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Just to see these two commands, guys. We'll check it. Move, rename. Guys, can you open your mobile app? Open your mobile app. Go to free materials. Open mobile app. Go to free materials. There you can see Linux material. All these commands I have explained in that material. Go to mobile app, free materials. Go to Linux folder. Are you able to find that? Yeah, just read that. Just scroll it. That is the Linux material I'm giving for my DevOps people. The people who attend DevOps course, for them first 20 days, will teach only Linux. That for them, I prepared a material. You can see that. You don't need to wait for the class notes. Whatever I'm discussing, everything is already available in that PDF. In the mobile app, go to free materials option. There you can find Linux folder. In that Linux folder, PDF is available. You can download it. How to create AWS account, how to launch Linux machine. With the proper screenshots, I have given everything. And I have sent you videos from our YouTube channel. And guys, I found one bug in the YouTube. Recently, last Saturday, our subscriber count reached to 50,000. Sir, unsubscribing, maybe 10 people can do, but 300 people cannot do unsubscribe, right? 300 people subscribe count has reduced. I already sent a mail for YouTube because on Saturday night, I have seen 50,055 subscriber count. Monday, yesterday morning when I opened, it was 49,800. 300 people gayab ho gaya. How it will happen? I mean, these many people will not unsubscribe, right? There is something wrong in that. I already sent a mail. Let's see what response I will get from YouTube. I got literally surprised how 300 people will unsubscribe at a time. It's not unsubscribing. Some mistake happened there. And one thing I suspected that all people subscribe at a time. Maybe YouTube identified that it is no. Fake subscription, something like that. They might have thought like that. That can be one reason. I need to get the response from them. Because within fraction of 5-10 seconds, so many people subscribe at a time. Maybe they thought that some illegal activity happened on the channel. Actually, yesterday morning when I woke up at 6 o'clock, I have seen the YouTube count. Then I got surprised. Literally, am I in the dream or what? Yesterday it reached 50,000. Again, it went back to 48,000. What happened? I got confused for 2 to 3 minutes. Then I realized so many people subscribed at a time. Maybe YouTube thought that it is illegal activity on the channel. Okay, fine guys. Did you find the material useful? Because the reason is in the DevOps course now, if I get to 200 people in the DevOps batch, 180 people will be from non-IT. So for them, it is new. They don't understand. That's why we have given everything with proper screenshots. Now see how easy it is to teach Linux. Do I need to give any effort? Not required. For Java, lot of efforts are required. And inform guys, so tomorrow I'm starting new batch for DevOps with AWS. So please keep our DevOps poster in your WhatsApp status. If you have any friends, anyone, especially who is having some career gap, who are into non-IT background, who want to enter into IT, DevOps course is the best platform for them. I have already shared the poster. Keep it as your WhatsApp status. If anyone asks, ask them to join tomorrow demo at 8 p.m. IST. It's purely online class, right? Omshi, share the DevOps poster in the JRTP offline and online groups. 23 JRTP online and offline. Yeah. Keep it as your WhatsApp status, guys. So anybody who is having gap, anybody from non-IT, those people can join for the DevOps. Course fees is 16,000 rupees. It is 5 months duration, 4 to 5 months of time. Linux, AWS, DevOps, Docker, Kubernetes, everything will be there. Umshi shared 23 JRTP. Poster shared, only DevOps poster. Keep that status, guys. WhatsApp status, so that your network will reach that. DevOps batch will start from tomorrow. If anybody asks, tell them 4 to 5 months duration, daily 1.5 hour class, 8 to 9:30, and Linux plus DevOps plus AWS. Fees 16,000. Backup videos, 1 year access. All right, fine. So let's see here. We discussed about a command called head command and tail command. What is the difference between head command and tail command? Head command will give first 10 lines of the file. 10 is the default. Can I get the first 50 lines of the file? Yes, by using -n option. What is the tail command? Tail command will give the last 10 lines of the file. Can I get the last 100 lines? This tail command, very important for the developers, right? Because our application will be running inside the server. Application will generate the log messages. Log messages will be stored to log file. Latest logs will be available top of the file, bottom of the file. Latest log messages will be available at the top of the file or bottom of the file. Bottom of the file. Whenever some exception occurred in the project, manager will ask you, check the logs of the application. Then to check the logs of the application, which command you need to use? Tail command or head command? Why not a head command? Head command will give very old data. Where the latest data will be available? Latest data will be available at the bottom of the file. Which command will give the data from bottom of the file? Tail command. Can you get the last 100 lines to see the exception? Yes, we can see the last 100 lines by using tail command. One more important command is available. Guys, now, if you go for Notepad, if I go for any file in the Windows, okay, there is a file available. There is a file available. In this file, I want to find where delete option is available. How we will find the text in the Notepad? How to find the word in the Notepad text? Control F. Fine. Now, there is a lot of content available. I want to find where delete keyword is available in the file. What I will do? Control F. Then I will type delete. Find next and count. See here, delete is available at 2 places. In the Windows, we are doing Control F. GUI is available to do the find. But in the Linux, what happened to this? Network error. Refresh. Yeah. I connected back to this machine. ls-l. Now there is a file called data.txt. I'm going for cat command. What is there in the cat command? All the content I am getting. Now I want to see, I want to find in which lines Linux keyword is available. Are you guys getting my point? Can I do Control F in the Linux? In the Windows, I can do Control F because it is GUI based. But in the Linux, CLI. Control F can I use or cannot use? I cannot use. In the Linux, in order to perform find operation, there is a command called grep command. What is the command? Grep. Global Regular Expression Printer. The full form, Global Regular Expression Printer. Grep space. What is the content I want to find? Linux. Sorry. Grep command I'm using in the single quote Linux space data.txt. Enter. No. Okay. What happened, man? Cat data.txt. Okay, got it. Case sensitive. Okay. Grep Linux data.txt. Now what happened now? In line number 3, Linux keyword available. Line number 4, Linux keyword available. Line number 5, Linux 6, 9. So whenever I go for grep command with the keyword, with the given file name, it is going to identify in the file which line contains Linux keyword. It is going to display all those lines. By default, grep command case sensitive or case insensitive? Case sensitive. I want to make it as case insensitive. -I. Then what happened? If I go for -I, so that means ignore case sensitive. Am I able to get the data now? Yes. Let us see. Grep -I Linux data.txt. What is the meaning of -I? Ignore the case sensitive. So in the data.txt file, which line contains Linux keyword, you print that line. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. These are the 5 lines which contains Linux keyword. I want to get the lines which contains OS keyword. How to get that? Grep -I OS. Right. 1, 2, 3, 14. These 4 lines contains a keyword called OS. So now, whenever there is a log file, this is also important for the developer. Whenever there is a log file, I want to get the lines which contains exception keyword. So when I'm seeing the log file, my log file contains 1000 lines. Out of these 1000 lines, how many lines contains exception keyword? I want to get that. So at that time, shall I go for tail command or I should go for grep command? We should go for which command? Grep command. What is the difference between tail command and grep command? Tail command will give you last 10 lines by default. If I go for grep command, I can find the matching content. I can find the matching content by using grep command. Grep command by default case sensitive. How to ignore that case sensitive? By using -I. Grep -I keyword space file name. For example, in this directory, which file contains Linux keyword, get the data from all the files. Earlier I have given grep -I OS data.txt. It will search only in this file. I want to search in all the files, guys. I want to search in all the files. Instead of data.txt, I will give star. Then what will happen? In whichever the file that keyword is matching, along with the file name, it is printing. Earlier, it searched only in the data.txt. Now it is getting from abc.txt. It is getting from data.txt. It is getting from linux.txt. grep -I OS star. What is the meaning of star? Search in all the files which are available in the present working directory. Okay, so with this we understood what is a grep command. What is the purpose of grep command? Grep global regular expression printer. It is for finding. It is for data finding. Okay. Syntax I'm going to use grep -I Linux data file name. So in that given file, which line contains the Linux keyword, it is going to display all that information. Perfect. Next one. In the Windows operating system, I am opening a file. For example, Agile Notes is available. I open this file. Wherever I want, I can change the content. Okay. Then I can file, save. Then I can exit that. What I am doing? I'm using editor. I'm using editor. So see, I have a file, AWS cloud.txt. Let me click on this file. File open. What is the cloud computing? I want to add some data. I want to save the changes. I want to exit that file. I want to close that file. That is called editor. In the Linux, can I double click and can I edit the file? If I double click, it will be selected. So in the Windows, double click means file will open, modify the content, save the file and close the file. That is called GUI mode editor. Similarly, in the Linux, I want to edit the file content. I want to save that and I want to close that. Then we need to go for editor. Editor. Now see, ls-l. There is a file called abc.txt file is available. If I go for cat, what it is doing? Just to show the content. Am I able to modify the content? No, I'm not able to modify the content. So if I want to modify the content, I need to go for editor. I need to go for editor. Sometimes when we are deploying our application in the Linux machine, I want to make some logger changes. I want to make some configuration changes. I want to make some changes to properties file. How to make file changes in the Linux? For that, there is a command called VI. What is the command? VI. VI stands for Visual Editor. VI space abc.txt. Which file you want to edit? For that, you need to give the VI, Visual Editor. Then that file will open in the editor. Let me see. Let me execute this command. Observe carefully. In the Windows, we have Notepad for editing the file. But in the Linux, we need to go for VI editor. VI space abc.txt. File opened in the editing mode. When the file opened in the edit mode, directly you cannot edit. That file is in the readable mode. That file is in the readable mode. Editing is not possible. If you want to edit, you need to press keyword I. When I press the keyword I, then it will change to insert mode. Now you can edit that content. Now you see, I'm able to edit that content and I can delete that. Linux is free OS. Linux is open source. I'm learning Linux OS. Linux is very interesting subject. Linux is very interesting subject. I have modified that file. After modifying, we need to save and we need to close that. This is little tricky. Press the escape, colon WQ, write and quit. Okay, enter. Then file got saved. Now see the content, cat abc.txt. My line is added or not? Yes, my line is added. Now I want to add one more line. Okay, observe. Vi abc.txt. Open in the readable mode. Can I edit that? No. What I need to do? I means insert. Now you can write the data in the file. So let me go for Linux is pre-OS. Linux developed by Linus Torvalds. That's it. I added some content. Now I want to save the change and I want to close the file. First press escape, colon WQ. What is the meaning of WQ? Write and quit. Yes, file data got saved and I'm able to close the file. How to check that? Cat. Yes, my line is added or not. Yes. Sometimes after modifying the file, I realized that change is not required. How to close the file without saving the data? Are you guys getting my point? We are able to understand how to open the file, write the content, save the content, close the file. But now what I want to do is vi abc.txt insert mode. By mistake I have done some data. Now that change is not required. I don't want to save that change. I just want to close my file. Escape colon q not colon q not. Now it got closed. Open that file. See the data. Like change saved or not saved? Not saved. Got it. Yeah. What is the command we have learned, guys? vi. What is the purpose of vi? Visual editor to modify file content. So see here, I'm going for vi file name. Observe, I'm giving vi file name. Guys, here the magic is whenever you go for vi file name, with that name, if the file is available, it will open. With that name, if the file is not available, creates and open that file. Observe. Now, escape colon wq ls-l. Currently, there is no file with a name called java.txt. Is there any file available with java.txt? Not available. Let me go for vi java.txt. What happened? Java.txt file is open. Now let me write insert mode. Java is a programming language. Java is very easy. Okay. Now I want to save this and I want to close that file. How to do that? Escape colon wq. Yes, file got saved. How to see the content? Cat java.txt. Did I create the file or vi created that file? Vi created that file. Now vi. For insert mode, we need to press I. Now save and quit. What I need to do? To save and quit, I need to do escape plus colon wq. Now quit without saving. Quit without saving. Then what I need to do? Escape plus colon q not. Right. So if I want to open the file, then I will go for vi. Vi stands for visual editor. Vi stands for visual editor. Save and quit. Escape, press escape, escape and colon wq. Here escape and colon q not. So that will close your file without saving. This will close your file with a save. Insert mode to edit that file, to modify that file. So in the Windows we have Notepad. In the Linux we are having Visual Editor. Are you guys clear? Good. Now see the commands one by one. Who am I? Display logged in username. PWD present working directory. CD change directory. LS list the files and directories. mkdir make the directory. rmdir remove empty directory. Note, if directory contains data, rm-r recursive delete we need to do. Touch command create the empty files. Cat command, you can create the file with data. You can append the data to the existing file. You can display the data which is available in the existing file. Now here cat command will read the data from top to bottom, whereas tag command will read file from bottom to top. rm remove the file. mv move and rename the files and directories. cp copy the data. wc word count. Head command give the first 10 lines of the file. Tail command give the last 10 lines of the file. grep command global regular expression printer. Visual editor to modify the file content. Okay, fine. With this we are able to understand basic commands in the Linux. Next we need to understand commands related to chmod command, chown command. Chmod command to change file permissions. Okay. ch own command to change file ownership. ch mode command to change file permissions. ch own command to change file ownership. So if you see the material, already I have given very clearly what is the ch mode command and ch own command. Now, so you got the idea what is Linux, how to create Linux machine, how to practice Linux commands. Today, I want you to practice all the commands which are available in the material. So it is single line, one command, what is the description. So tomorrow we are going to understand how to install softwares in the Linux, what is a package manager, how to run Spring Boot application in the Linux, how to deploy static website in the Linux. Those things we are going to discuss in the tomorrow session. Today, practice these commands as well as the other commands which are available in the material, which I have not covered. So if you read that command, you will understand what is the purpose of that. There is a shell scripting also in the material that is not required for the Java developer. Shell scripting that is required for DevOps engineers to automate the manual work. There also variables will be available, loops will be available. It is a dead easy for you. If you look at that, if condition, else condition, for loop, while loop, do while loop, switch case, conditions will be available in the shell script. That shell script is not required for us because we are not going to do the automation. That is the duty of the DevOps engineer. So if you see that, you will also understand. It is not difficult for you because it is also similar to programming. I want you to practice the remaining Linux commands before coming to tomorrow class. Tomorrow we'll discuss about package managers in the Linux, how to install a software in the Linux, and how to run our Java applications in the Linux machine, how to install softwares, how to host one static website in the Linux machine, that we are going to understand. Are you clear? Good. Thank you guys. Any questions, anyone? Yeah, that we can discuss in offline. After class, you can come. Okay. Any other questions from Linux commands? Yeah, online people, any doubt? Online people, any doubt? Sheetal, you can keep this in the Eclipse and you can see what is the output. You don't need to ask me. String concatenation. Linux is case sensitive or insensitive? It is case sensitive here. Linux is case sensitive, guys. Okay. Guys, whenever you get network timeout, I'm getting network timeout. I got disconnected from the machine. Control R will reconnect to that machine. So session, I'm reconnecting to that. Okay. Here you can take the duplicated tab and you can connect to the same machine you can do. So one user, another user, like this also you can practice. It is multi-user operating system.
Hello. Can I ask a question?
Can connect. That is called multi-user. Yeah. Hello.
Sir, actually, I am just confusing how many objects is creating. It's 4 objects or 5 objects?
Your voice is not clear.
Sir, actually, the doubt is how many objects is getting created for this particular string.
Yeah,
it's,
just paste in the group. Paste in the group.
I pasted in the group, na, but everyone saying it's 1, but I think it's 3 objects get created, 3 or 4.
Let me check it. I will respond. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, fine. Good, guys. So all of you able to download the material? Please practice all the commands today. This is not difficult, guys. You have the material, you have the document, you have the syntax. You just need to practice those commands, right? So practice those commands before coming to tomorrow class. All of you uploaded the status poster. You got it? No? Come on, fast. DevOps poster. Yes, fine, perfect. Please practice. We'll meet in the tomorrow session. Thank you.